Hello and welcome. Today we have with us former Ambassador Mr. Suresh Goel. Mr. Suresh Goel has a illustrious career spanning over 35 years in the diplomatic services. Mr. Goel was also in charge of the China desk at the MEA, and his expertise lies in the Southeast Asian region and the relationship between India and ASEAN. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you.
Welcome. Let me get straight to it. We've seen a lot of protests in China. We've also seen earlier on protests against the zero COVID policy. Has anything changed for the Communist Party?
It has changed in the sense that for the first time, the Communist Party, or in the other sense, Xi Jinping, because today he is the Communist Party with the absolute control over the party levers. For the first time, we found that the Communist Party had to change the policy, reverse the policy because of what was happening within China. But more than what was happening within China, also the international voices joining the protest and clamoring for the change. So the change of zero COVID policy happened because of the protests, particularly if you think of the state like Xinjiang, Urumqi, which had been under a very strict party management because of obvious reasons. When suddenly, because of these protests in Urumqi, Shanghai, etc., when the midstream party had to change the policy of zero COVID, and that was a big decision.
Yeah.
It was a personal decision taken by Xi Jinping. So I would say that yes, there was a change, but whether this change will continue, I doubt it very much. My sense is that given the way China operates, within the way Chinese government operates, it will be impossible or near impossible for the Communist Party to dilute its control over the people in China. So my sense is that slowly, and in fact, I remember that just before the change in the policy, there were certain interviews on the TV channels, and I had said pretty much the same thing, that there would be basically a reversal in the policy or change in the policy, but then after the change in the policy, the Communist Party will uh, in fact, come back to the strict control over population, because that can't go away.
So with all of these changes and the fact that they've had to roll this back, do you think that Xi Jinping is vulnerable now?
Very doubtful. Doubtful in the sense that difficult to say really how far these changes will affect his stature within the party. My personal sense is that Xi Jinping, the control is not really manifest in the way people protest, etc. The control is manifest in whether Xi Jinping can still make people in the country, make people in the party behave in accordance with his decisions. And I think with the total control over the military, that he's the chairman of the Central Military Commission, with the total control within the Standing Committee of the Politburo, where 7 out of 12 members are his cronies, are his supporters. So 7 out of 12, they will simply say yes to whatever he says. So the two top bodies of governance in China, Standing Committee of the Politburo and the Central Military Commission, totally being in his pocket, I doubt very much that he will be vulnerable.
But then what about the economy? There's been a tech crackdown. Does that have an impact of the future of China's economy?
Chinese economy has already slowed down, as we know. The estimate of the World Bank on the growth in 2023, if I recall correctly, is 5% or less than 5%, which is all-time low. Yes, so Chinese economy has been impacted, will be impacted because of COVID, but I don't think that Xi Jinping will be personally blamed for any economic impact. And therefore, his power structures will continue as it is. Number two, I think there is a general feeling that China is vulnerable because of economy now, or that China has actually peaked its economic power. I don't think so. China is now doing cutting edge research in artificial intelligence. Somebody mentioned 7 or 8% of the GDP being spent on technology, which is quite right. They're spending huge amounts. And today, the biggest competitor in the area of artificial intelligence for the USA is China. They have the manpower, they have the resources. So I heard 2 days ago that China may claim to Moon as its colony. success or not is a different thing. So I don't think China has reached the peak of its power. China is yet going to reach over there, and I don't think that we should consider China being vulnerable at the moment, really at all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that concise insight into, the situation in China. It's a different opinion. We're very happy that you were with us, and I hope to have you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.